Good morning and welcome into the Lifeline Morning Show. I'm Steven. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You know, I love getting your day started off on the right foot. And to help with that, I use an inspiring quote. This one today, wow, it's so complex. Anne Bronte said this: "He that dares not grasp the thorn should never crave the rose." Ooh, that one hurts a little bit. That one pricks. That one might draw blood. He that dares not grasp the thorn should never crave the rose. What does that say to you? You know what it tells me? That with every good thing in this life, well, there can be some bad stuff that happens around it. Some bad stuff that's attached to it that you have to work through. You have to learn how to manage that stuff that could be painful. Those complexities that could make things just a little less than perfect. And you do a really good job of doing that. Why? Well, because one, you're not alone. The Spirit of God lives on the inside of you, guiding you into all truth. So you can reach out for that thing that is so lovely, though it does have some drawbacks to it. The Spirit will show you how to handle those. And I love that He does. I'm so glad. So I want you to remember that today. That yeah, you might be looking forward to that promotion at work, but you know, it's probably going to come with a lot more responsibilities. A lot more is going to be asked of you, but it's something that you can rise to the occasion of because you'll learn how to handle those situations. You'll learn how to navigate all that stuff that's different. So just trust God with it. You know, I'm having to learn that day by day. Just trust God with it, whatever it is. And He'll see you through. So I want you to remember that today. All right? Now, it's the beginning of the week. It's a Monday, and I hope that you are feeling like this week is going to be your best week ever, because I have a feeling that it is. Okay? I've got some music here to lift you up, to get you in the right headspace, and we've got some stuff to talk about you're going to absolutely love. So keep it locked in right here to 88.5 JFM or to our stream. Online, 885jfm.com. Click the On Now button, press play, or on the podcast on Spotify. Thank you for making us part of your day. Here's Phil Wickham with I Believe. I just want to let you know that you're not alone. We are all feeling this struggle. I found this graphic. I'm like, oh, this is too true. I remember when $200 in groceries had to go in the trunk. Now you can put them 3 bags in the passenger seat. Oh, it's crazy. I went to Walmart just the other day, right after school. I go pick up my daughter Grace, and we had to go pick up a few things. I'm like, yeah, this shouldn't be much. Yeah, I got it all up on the belt, and I guess I'm getting used to these bigger, higher prices because my daughter asked me, Dad, how much do you think that is? I said, I'm thinking probably around $68. It wasn't a whole lot of stuff. Well, turns out I was just $5 off. It was $73 instead of $68. And it wasn't much at all. But we are all feeling the struggle. And you know, whenever I bring up topics like this, I'm really thankful. I'm thankful that God is helping us continue to purchase the things that we need just to live. He's providing all that we need according to His riches and glory. And sometimes that means giving us a little extra money to get all the stuff bought that we need. And He's really good at doing that and taking care of us. So that's something to be thankful for, even in the middle of those higher grocery prices. And oh, don't get me started at the pump. Oh, those gas prices are crazy too. But anyway, we're doing this thing together. And hey, we can do it, I guess, a little better when we know we're not alone. We're not the only person dealing with the struggle, you know? Yeah. This song talks a lot about struggle. It's Toby Mac and Faithfully, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Your word of life today comes to you from Matthew chapter 6, verse 10 in the New Living Translation of the Bible. May your kingdom come soon. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It's part of the Lord's Prayer. It is so good. You're aligning yourself with God's will in your life and in the world around you. That is huge. Leaving it open to what He wants to do. Yeah, we've got to have that mindset every day. Hey, why don't you share that word of life with somebody? We've got it ready for you across all of our socials and at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Speaking of our website, you can go there and find out about some amazing concerts like the Andrew Ripp Big Feelings Tour happening Sunday, November 12th. And we've got the Zach Williams 100 Highways Tour with Riley Clemens on May 5th at Mark C. Smith Concert Hall in Huntsville. Of course, those tickets there for the Zach Williams concert aren't quite on sale yet. That's coming later this week, but you can find out more information by clicking that banner. Plus, you can also click that On Now button just above those banners to listen to us from wherever you happen to be, like they're doing down in Palm Coast, Florida. Joel Modest, thanks for hanging out. And we've got some listeners over in Helsinki, Finland as well. And I want to make sure that I'll let you know we're thankful for you. Whether you're listening to us on the radio, on the stream, or even on the podcast over on Spotify. Thanks for being here. Here's Lauren Daigle. These are the days. A few mixed emotions on this story right here. So I've been following this guy for a while over on TikTok. His name is Justin Danger Nunley. And this guy can be really rough around the edges. So if you go over there and check out his content, be careful. But you can tell he's got a good heart. And he had a little something to say about his personal life here lately that I thought was worth sharing with you. Now, at first, it might sound a little less than honoring. But I want to point out just a few things after he's done. So take a listen and see what you think about this.
As a lot of you already know, I turned 40 yesterday. What you don't know is that last night at dinner, I got the call that my grandmother passed away, and it always sucks losing somebody close to you, but losing a grandparent always just hits different. I'm traveling back to North Alabama right now, and as I'm driving down the road, I couldn't help but laugh because in true Southern grandma fashion, she waited till an Alabama bye week to pass away. So to the woman that taught me how to play board games and how to cheat without getting caught, thanks for all the memories. Love you. You're going to be missed. Love you, Mama. Roll Tide.
It's so funny that he would point out some of the most magical things about your grandparents. I mean, that hit hard with me because, well, you see, I lost my grandma years ago, but my granny, there was nobody like her on this earth. I'm telling you. And the board games, she knew how to play them. My favorite one to play with her was called Trouble. We played that countless times. And of course, we were over at her house one night and we decided to play Monopoly. And that lasted until the wee early morning hours. I mean, we didn't go to bed until early the next morning. That game took forever. And then there were so many other things that Granny was special for that I remember her, you know? And the whole thing about learning how to cheat without getting caught, grannies are pretty good about that too. And as far as the Alabama football goes, yep, my granny loved a great Bama football game. She loved when they won. So I know Justin's going through a hard time, and everybody kind of deals with grieving in their own way, deals with loss in their own way. But I'm glad that Justin could have a little humor about it in the middle of it because it really does help. Now, he's going to be missing his mama. So I think it's something that we can kind of identify with. That, yeah, she was a big part of his life for a long time. And now, well, she's gone on to be with Jesus. And that's one of the coolest things about this life is when you're done with Christ as your Savior, you know it's not the end. And so with your loved ones, you know that that's not the last time you're going to see them. Isn't that cool? So, yeah, I think there'll be some more board games going on up in heaven. I think Justin might be able to play a few more rounds with Grandma. What do you think? But for everybody who's lost a grandparent, you know what it feels like. It's devastating. It's tear-jerking. It's awful. But to have a little humor, I think that shows a little strength on his part. And it'll hit him hard. It always does because grandparents are special. But I just had to share that with you because he's remembering the fun right here after he found out that she had passed away. It's a part of life, and it's not one that I necessarily enjoy because their loss, their missing spot will always be remembered, and it's hard to get over, but to see them again one day, that's where our hope is. I know what's going to make me better. Getting smarter. That's going to make me a better person. Is it, though? Is it just getting smarter that's going to help you become a better, more well-rounded person? Well, actually, it's going to help, but there's something else that you might be overlooking that does more for your future than, well, books or smarts ever could. And it's something that you really have control of. I want you to stick around and find out what it is. Would you? Right after this. It's Just As Good by Chris Renzema and Ellie Holcomb. Hey, think about it. What could be better than getting smarter? I challenge you to think about something that would do better for you in the future than getting smarter. And I'm totally cognizant of who's on the radio right now, of who's listening. I've got kids in the car with parents going to school, and I really wanted everybody to hear this. This is the thing that'll do better for you than getting smarter. And it's something you have total control over.
Scientists now describe gratitude as the lubricant of the brain. When you're grateful, your mind actually becomes more agile. Your mind becomes more flexible. Your mind becomes more adaptive. If I could say it this way, when you're grateful, you just become smarter. And smarter people have more capacity, more potential, more opportunity, and more success.
Wow, what do you think about that? Gratitude has a lot to do with your future and how you live in the moment. So I want you to remember that today. Now, what does gratitude look like for you as a kid on your way to school? You know, I came across another little clip that I want to share, and I think this one is going to hit on all cylinders. This is something to remember, okay? How you can show gratitude, especially to your parents.
Okay, I just heard somebody say this on the radio. They said, if somebody offered to pay my food and my rent for the next 18 years, I would do anything for them. But I complained every time I had to take the trash out of my parents' house. Just let that sink in. I'm gonna go call my mom.
Yep, those little chores that you're tasked with doing around the house, doing those without complaining, that is a great way you can show gratitude to your parents. Amazing, isn't it? I mean, when you really think about it, they take care of everything. And believe it or not, you're going to miss these days when you're all grown up and by yourself. I'm telling you, even when you're grown up and even married to your soulmate, you're going to look back on these days of your childhood and think, oh, I had it made. So show your mom and dad or whoever it is that takes care of you some gratitude today and see if it doesn't start to improve things. And then why don't you pass it along to your teachers? More gratitude there. And your classmates, more gratitude there. Let's see if we can make this world a better place just by showing a little more gratitude. What do you think? Can we do it? Will you take the challenge? I'll take it with you. But right now, I got a really good feeling somebody's going to be winning some gift cards very, very soon on the car line competition. Will it be you? Stick around. Say it with me in 3, 2, 1. Give me the horn! All right, now let's go ahead and crank that engine, and I guess let's start the music so I can say, hey everybody, it's time to play the car line competition. Your chance to win some gift cards this morning. You know what? We're going to have some fun. I got some questions here. I'm going to give you the cue to call and answer one of these questions. And if you give me the right answer, guess what? You're going to win not 1, not 2, but 3 gift cards. 1 to keep, 2 to give away. I'll even ask it who you're gonna give your extra gift cards to so you can share some love here on the radio. But Steven, where are these gift cards to? Well, I'm glad you asked. All right, so we've got 1 to Wendy's for a Frosty, who doesn't love those things, plus Albertville Home Bakery for a couple of cupcakes or cookies, your choice, and a gift card to Caring Heart Thrift Store, a $5 gift card. And actually, you'd be amazed at what $5 can buy at a thrift store. So those are the 3 gift cards. And here is the first question of today's car line competition. Which animal is not native to Africa? Is it a hyena, a lion, a tiger, or a meerkat? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Again, which animal is not native to Africa? Is it A, a hyena, B, a lion, C, a tiger, or D, a meerkat? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. I'm waiting on your call right now, and there it is. Yay! Here's Micah Tyler.
I remember when a long lost sinner met a good God.
88.5 JFM, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, who am I talking to?
Kyle Walker.
What you up to today, bud?
Nothing much. I'm just driving to school.
You're driving to school, or somebody else is driving the car?
My dad is driving.
Okay, it would be much more fun if you were driving, but probably not as safe. So I think it's good Dad's driving. How about you?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Hey, are you looking forward to anything about school today?
PE.
PE, always fun. What's your favorite thing to do in PE?
Probably football.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun. All right, so hopefully you'll get a little outside time today. I don't know, though. They're saying it might rain, so be prepared.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, it's supposed to get cold. So, anyway. But I've got something that'll warm you up right now. I've got this question right here. If you win this, you could win 3 gift cards. So let's do this thing. Which animal is not native to Africa? Is it a hyena, a lion, a tiger, or a meerkat?
A tiger.
A tiger is correct. Congratulations to you. You just won 3 gift cards. What do you think about that?
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Now, do you know where a tiger usually lives?
In the rainforest?
Oh, yes, in jungles, and that is not Africa. So you're a very smart cookie, sir. All right, so here is my question for you now. Since you won all 3 gift cards, I want you to keep one and give the other 2 away to 2 very special people. And I'd love it if you could tell me about those 2 people right now.
To my friend Judd that I see every day at school.
Oh, cool. What do you like about Judd?
That he makes me laugh a lot.
We all need friends like that. I think that's awesome. So we got Judd. Now, who is the second person?
This is 2 people, but like they can share. My grandparents,
Oh, cool. What do you call them?
my Nana and Poppy.
Awesome. What do you love about that Poppy?
They get me a lot of things.
They spoil you rotten, huh?
Yes.
And I bet that grandma of yours knows how to cook too, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah.
What's your favorite thing that she cooks?
Probably her biscuit.
Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Great choice, man. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling me and sharing some love on the radio. I'm going to get these gift cards sent your way. But before I can do that, I need to grab your address real quick. Do you know it?
I'll give my phone to my dad.
Okay. Sounds good.
Hey, man.
Hey, Dad. What's up?
Thank you very much.
Well, I'm so glad that y'all called on the car line competition. That's a lot of fun. All right.
Yes,
So,
thank you.
yeah. Well, Dad, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Why do you listen to this radio station?
It's just got such a good message, and it's just something we can listen to together as we go to school every morning.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for listening. Y'all are the reason why we're here. Have a wonderful day, and I'll get these gift cards in the mail.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Bye, y'all. So much fun. Kai, thanks for calling me, man. I'm so glad that you called. We had some fun, didn't we? Yeah. All right. So I've got another question here. I wonder if you have what it takes to win some gift cards, just like Kai did. Well, we're about to find out because here is your question. The genetic condition where somebody's thumb bends backwards is known as what? Is it hitchhiker's thumb, gum thumb, Thumbelina, or the Roman thumb? 256-505-0885 is a number to call, and I've got my caller. Stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song, and I'll get your answer. All right, here is For King and Country, and what are we waiting for? 88.5 JFM, good morning.
Is it Hitchhiker's Thumb?
It is Hitchhiker's Thumb. Bud Williams?
Roll over.
We will roll those gift cards over. Have you ever hitchhiked before?
Yeah.
You have.
Thumb straight up. Hitchhiker's Thumb.
All right, man. Well, thanks for calling. We're going to roll these over, and somebody's going to be so happy because you called in, bud. So thanks for calling, man.
Okay.
All right. So much fun. So because Bud called in, got it right, he rolled them over. Now you stand the chance of winning 6 gift cards on this next question. So could you answer this? A dodecahedron has how many sides? 20, 18, 12, or 8? 256-505-0885 is a number to call. Again, a dodecahedron has how many sides? 20, 18, 12, or 8? 256-505-0885. I've got my caller. Stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song, and I'll see if I can give you 6 gift cards. Here's King's Porch. I Speak Jesus. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. Who am I talking with?
Chance.
Chance. All right, Chance. Well, I've got a little bit of a question right here, and I don't know how you are with geometry and shapes and sides and all that stuff, but are you pretty good with stuff like that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So let's see. A dodecahedron has how many sides? Is it 20, 18, 12, or 8?
12.
12 is correct. Congratulations. You just won not 3, but 6 gift cards. What do you think about that, Chance?
I think that's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool too.
Can I roll them over?
Oh man, are we starting a train?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, we could totally do that. Yes, thank you so much for calling. I still want to hear though about two very special people in your life.
My pastor, Pastor Seth, my youth pastor.
Oh, cool.
He's always been the joy of light, and every time I go to youth service, he makes me feel wonderful and great, and he's just always a joy to be around.
Very cool. And Pastor Seth, what church is that at?
Lake City.
Lake City Assembly. Very good. And who's that second person?
Pastor Gary. Our head pastor.
Very cool. Pastor Gary Kraft. What do you like about that guy?
He's such a great person. He's the same thing like Pastor Seth, but they just both have a bunch of energy and they always love you. They're just such great people to hang out with, no matter if you're sad or mad, or they always make you happy. They always lift you up.
That is so good, man. A lot of love being shared on the radio. Well, thank you for calling. We're going to roll these gift cards over, and you have a wonderful day, okay?
Okay, you too.
All right, thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Chance got the train rolling through here. Now we are having some fun because it's not 6 gift cards anymore. It's 9 gift cards up for grabs. So let's get this question out there because these kids, they got to be at school very, very soon. So let's do this thing. The distance between 2 rails on a track is called what? It's called a block, a junction, a break, or a gauge. 256-505-0885, taking it all the way back to the railroad. The distance between 2 rails on a track is called the what? Is it the block, the junction, the break, or the gauge? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. And you know what? 9 gift cards? I think I'd be Googling that if I didn't know it. Plus, I'm your phone a friend. I'm all about second chances around here. So 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, 256-505-0885. I didn't get an answer to this last question. I'm going to ask it one more time, and I'm going to take a couple of things off the board here, a couple of options. So you got a 50-50 chance of winning 9 gift cards. You ready for this? The distance between 2 rails on a track is called the what? Is it the junction or the gauge? 256-505-0885 is the number to call. Again, the distance between 2 rails on a track is called what? The junction or the gauge? 256-505-0885. I've got my caller. Stay on the phone line with me while I start this next song, and I'll get your answers. Patrick Mayberry with Lead On, Good Shepherd. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on, Richard Udi?
Not much.
All right, so you feeling lucky?
I hope so.
All right, so here it is. You got a 50-50 shot. 1 shot only. The distance between 2 rails on a track is called the what? Is it the junction or the gauge?
I'm going to take a guess. I may be wrong. I'm going to say junction.
Junction is not the one I was looking for, man. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. I guess the next caller going.
That's right, man. Thanks for calling, Richard.
All right, thank you.
Have a great day. Bye.
Yeah.
That was a 50-50 shot. He's either going to get it or he's not, and he didn't. So guess what? This is your chance to call in, and you're guaranteed 9 gift cards. 256-505-0885. Thank you, Richard, for calling this morning, man. All right, I've got my caller. Stay on the phone line with me. Here's Chris Tomlin with Holy Forever.
This is Pastor Gary Kraft with your Drive Time Devotion. There's a story about one of the queens of England who went for a walk with children in a certain city when a rainstorm broke out. The queen approached a cottage door and asked to borrow an umbrella. The owner didn't recognize her and offered the stranger a beat-up, broken umbrella. The queen thanked her. The royal attendant returned the umbrella the next day, extending thanks on behalf of the queen. The owner was flabbergasted when she realized what she had offered the queen. We reap what we sow. The prophet Malachi rebuked the people of God because they had offered their leftovers to God instead of their best. God deserves our best. He paid for it with the blood of His only begotten Son. But the excuses we can come up with for giving Him leftovers might be amusing if they weren't so blatantly selfish and short-sighted. David told the prophet that he would not dare give anything to the Lord that had cost him nothing, because true worship is costly. It demands our best. God desires those that worship Him to worship in spirit and truth. Perhaps offering our best time, our first dollars, our complete obedience, and our sincere thanks constitutes in spirit and in truth. What will you offer the King today? the King of the universe. Let's pray. Father, I recognize your great sacrifice for me. I offer you myself, the best of all I have and all I am. I offer it with joy and gratitude in Jesus' name. Amen.
Wow, it's not normal for the car line competition to last this long, but we had a little bit of a train passing through, and so we had to get these gift cards out of here, and I just happened to get a caller, and would you like to hear that call? Well, here you go. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
But how are you?
I'm doing all right. So this is Jimmy Lee Udi, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So this is the second Udi I've heard from today. Did you hear Richard's call?
Yes.
Okay. So man, you're guaranteed 9 gift cards. So here we go. The distance between 2 rails on a track is called the what? The junction or the gauge?
Gauge.
The gauge is correct. Congratulations to you, Jimmy. You just won 9 gift cards, man. How does that make you feel?
Wow. Awesome.
That's a great explanation. So, hey, I wonder if maybe you could tell me about a couple people in your life that you really love, that mean a whole lot to you. Maybe a couple of people that you've never mentioned before.
Yes, my cousin,
Your
Patty Mang.
All right. And what do you love about that person?
He stepped up, helping us, everything else for the babies and stuff.
Oh, man, that's awesome. All right. And who's that second person?
Her mom, Glenda Sue.
Glenda Sue. What do you love about that Glenda Sue?
She stepped up too.
Yeah? Wow. Y'all got a lot of people in your corner helping you out, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Cool, man. All right. Well, thank you for sharing the love. So, you want me to send these 9 gift cards your way?
Yes.
All right. I will do it.
Hey, my mom got a song request.
Cool. What song would you like to hear?
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. How's that little one doing?
She's doing good.
Man, I'm glad to hear that. So, you got a song request for me?
Yes, sir.
And what would you like to hear?
Getting started.
Getting started. We can play that for you. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
You too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
And that brings us to the end of today's car line competition. That train finally stopping and those 9 gift cards headed out. It's always a bunch of fun. And I wonder if maybe you'll stick around. Well, play with me tomorrow from 7 o'clock until about 7:30 or so. Or who knows? It might just keep going. But stick around with me here this morning. We still got like, 2 hours and 8 minutes of show left. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I think you're really going to love it. So just a reminder, in case you have to step away from your radio, you can always tune us in on your smart device. Just go to our website, 885jfm.com, click that On Now button, press play, and you are good to go. Now, I'm not going to forget that request. It's Jeremy Camp at Getting Started. I'm about to hit it, but I wanted to give you just a little more info about that last car line competition question. The distance between the 2 rails is called a gauge. Actually, do you know what size that is? How long it is? What's that distance? It's 4 feet, 8.5 inches. Why is that? Well, the person who designed railways decided to make it the same span, the same width as wagon wheels of years gone by. And then, those wagon wheels were based on another distance that goes all the way back to the days of the Romans. And it's so funny how this distance has just stuck. Now, when they made the railway system, it's believed that the person who actually came up with the whole idea had in the back of his mind that maybe people could take their goods on their own wagon and use the railway to do it. So it's not really used that way anymore, but it's kind of cool to know the history of that gauge, 4 feet, 8.5 inches. So there you go. All right, more great music headed your way, like this song right here by request, Miss Udi. I hope you enjoy it. Here is Jeremy Camp with Getting Started. I got you weather and word of life, business and ministry impact partners coming up after this. Stick around.
Are you running around in circles with no place to go?
Fun with words. Let's talk about adjectives real quick, shall we? Okay, here are some that I think of when I think of this particular kind of person. Crotchety. Yeah, that means irritable. Also, a curmudgeon, somebody who they're never happy. I could think of some characters right off the bat that fit that bill. From my childhood, Oscar the Grouch. He lives in a trash can. His favorite friend is a worm, and he's never happy. Do you have somebody like that in your life? Don't say their name out loud, but you know exactly who that is, right? Could you imagine that there's a reason why they are that way? That it's not just their nature, that actually things have happened in their past that have caused them to act that way. Yeah, we don't ever think about that, do we? We just kind of live in the moment. It's like, they're rude. I don't like being around them. Every time you get around them, it's like you feel kind of cold and indifferent. You feel like you're not really enjoyed by that person. In fact, they don't really like for you to be around them. It's like they're better when they're alone. Well, I want you to hear what Brian Trent has to say about that from his own life. Now, this happened back when he was just working, right? At a grocery store. I'm going to let him tell you the story, and I think it's going to open your eyes to some things that might be going on around you in your own little world. So, here, take a listen to this.
I like to encourage folks to remember that sometimes we come out on chapter 8 of someone's life when there's already been 7 chapters written, good or bad. We may not know what those consisted of. Because back in the 90s, I worked in a grocery store. I was the frozen food guy over ice cream and everything. And there was this lady that would come in every week, and she was hateful and grouchy and always complaining. Nobody wanted to deal with her. And one day I thought, well, I'm going to go out of my way and I'm just going to talk to this lady. And she was hateful and everything. But after a few minutes, she began to share the story about her child going through all these health issues. Well, I found out one of them was lactose intolerance. And I thought, I wonder if there's not something I can do to brighten up her day. Now, I can't fix all her problems. I can't make all those go away. But I did find this ice cream that was lactose intolerant folks, and I ordered some. So the next time she come in, several of us pitched in together. We bought her an entire case of 6 of those, and we give them to her. Well, she broke down into tears. You know, the Bible says in Hebrews 13 to don't forget to do good for people. You know, sometimes it's just that simple. One little thing can make that big a difference in someone's life. There's always more chapters to the story than we realize. And sometimes it only takes one little thing to change somebody's life and to change their relationship. Totally different woman after that. Love you guys.
And it's totally worth it. Can you kind of learn from that? I'm going to do it too. I'm going to try my best to make that person's life a little bit better, despite what they're going through. And maybe, just maybe, it'll make them a little happier.
So you catch me when I fall, right? And you hear me when I call crying.
Lord knows there's plenty of bad news out there, so I want to share some good news with you. And every now and then, a little bit of the struggle. You know what I mean? Because we are all in this thing together. That's so cliche, I know, but we really are. We're in this thing together, and we can do so much better when we can learn from each other. And, well, I came across a few clips that are a little too relatable. One in particular is about getting just a little bit older. And that's one of those things you don't think about until you're there. It's crazy. I never thought about being 40 years old when I was young. I'd always, thought about being 50, something like that. But 40, I kind of skipped by, and 30, I never even thought about until I was already there. It's a fun time, and you kind of figure things out as you go. But I know there are stories that you could tell me about getting older, things that you didn't quite know to expect, but now you're living through them, and it's like, it's tough, but I'm happy to be here, that kind of thing. Yeah. I found just a few things to kind of relate to, and I want to share them with you coming up here on the show. So I hope that you'll stick around, and we'll get into it coming up next. At least one of these about getting older, and it might make you chuckle just a little. So stick around, okay? All right, here's Mac Powell with 1991. Oh, I was a lot younger then. Let's see, I was 9. I would have turned 10 that September. Good times. There are changes you could really never be prepared for, and they happen as you just get older. It doesn't take anything on your part. It just happens. And I wonder if you've experienced some of these, especially the physical stuff. Well, here's a little clip that I found that's like, wow, this is like so relatable.
Doctor, I've been having trouble lately with minor injuries, such as I'll jam my finger trying to get something out of a drawer, and now it's like my finger just hurts for the rest of my life? Yes, that sounds right. What do you mean? You're getting older. This is just what happens. But I'm only 35. How are there people in their 70s? Now you understand why they are so grumpy. But I'm already the grumpiest person I know. Don't worry, you'll unlock a new level of grumpiness after we get these test results.
Wow, grumpy. I don't know. Maybe that's the reason why we bump into some grumpy older people, but there are some happy older people too. So yeah, the aches, the pains, those little stabbing sensations you feel from time to time. It's like, is that okay, or should I go to the doctor? And then they're gone. It's like, it must be fine. So you keep moving along. But that's just in your 30s. He said he was 35 with that pain, right? Well, there's another thing that happens. It's that you feel like you can relate to other people, that you're on the same wavelength, that you're close to the same age as them. Until, well, this happened. And this is from Nate Bargatze, who really gets it. Take a listen.
40 was the first age I did not want to turn. I remember my parents turning 40. It just feels old. And it's also the age that you do realize everybody you're talking to, you are older than. Before you're 40, I think everybody you talk to is your age. And for some reason, when you turn 40, you're just older than that person. I'll just be talking to them like, remember that? It's like 97, 98. They go, I wasn't born yet. You're like, golly, are you serious, dude? In my eyes, we look the same. Where's your dad at? Let me talk to him, because I swear I thought you were my age.
No lie, this happened to me just yesterday. We were at praise and worship practice after church, right? And I'm sitting there behind the drums, and our guitar player, he's standing over there beside me, and something that was playing, it was like this pad sounds, right? And was going between two keys, from like an E flat to a C or something like that. And that interval, what it sounded like to me, reminded me of an old movie that I watched when I was a kid. And I told him, I said, you know, that sound reminds me of that movie Flight of the Navigator. Not realizing that this guy standing beside me is only 29 years old. Here I am at 41. He has no idea what I'm talking about. Man, do I feel old. It's crazy how that works, right? Oh, but you just keep moving. You take the embarrassment and you move on. And maybe you get to introduce them to something that they really missed out on. So yeah, that's my plug. Flight of the Navigator was an amazing movie for its time. And yeah, Boss, you really need to watch that. Oh, that's his name, by the way, Boss Shell, an amazing guitar player. Yeah, I've taken it for granted for so long, and now I'm finally realizing where some of these expressions, these phrases actually come from. What's the history behind them? You know, I've got a daughter. She's almost 9 years old now, and she's been learning how to read, and of course, she has to learn all these different expressions, these different things that we say that mean certain things. And it's not exactly what it sounds like, right? These little terms, these little phrases that we use. Well, there's a couple in particular that I had no idea about. One of them has to do with a marathon. And if you've ever ran a marathon, you know, well, it's a particular distance, right? But that particular distance is from who ran the first marathon. But do you know what happened after that person ran that distance? And why we call it a marathon in the first place? It's a weird story. I'm going to share that with you. Plus, have you ever looked at a child who has blonde hair and called him a towhead? To me, that always sounded like a derogatory term, but actually it's not at all. And I always thought it was towhead, T-O-E, like a toe on your foot. But no, it's not that at all. It's T-O-W. Is it like towing a car? Not quite. There's a little history to that one too. So as I figure these things out, I love to bring them to you, and we have a little fun figuring out, you know, where all this stuff comes from. What's its origin? And we can understand life a little bit better. So are you ready for that? Well, we'll get into it next. I think this first one you're really going to love and hate at the same time. I think we might have to come up with a better word than marathon for this particular distance. I'm just saying. You'll find out why after this. It's Jordan Feliz. The king is alive, which is more than could be said for the person who ran the first marathon. Oh, I said too much. It's so particular. It's so specific. When you run a marathon, you know exactly how long you run. But do you know why you run for that particular distance? Well, came across this little clip. It's a stand-up comedy bit, but it's true. I've done the research myself. So I want you to hear this, see what you think. And I think maybe we need to come up with a better term, maybe even a different competition altogether after hearing this. See what you think.
The marathon got its name because a man in ancient Greece ran 26.2 miles from the Battle of Marathon to Athens to deliver the news of the battle to the king and he delivered the news of the battle to the king, and then he immediately dropped dead. That's a true story. And we honor this man by continuing to run the exact distance which killed him. Down to the .2. Like, that's rude. The king should have been like, this guy is a hero. It's illegal to run that far ever again. We're going to have a memorial 5K fun run. There's going to be plenty of water stops.
Isn't that so weird that we still do that? 26.2 miles, the exact distance that man ran before he passed away. That's crazy. It's kind of dark history. I think maybe sometimes it's worth questioning where some of these terms come from. What do you think? Maybe we need to come up with a different event, right? At least not call it a marathon anymore. What do you think about that? Well, I want your comment. In fact, I put that in the question attached to this podcast. So I want to know, what kind of experience do you have with a marathon? Have you ever run one before? Did you feel like you were going to die? Do you think maybe we should come up with a different term for it? What is it? Let me know. Go ahead and put that right there in that answer box. And thank you for listening to us here on the podcast. Some communities across North Alabama are already feeling that temperature drop. Huntsville this morning started out around 67 degrees, and right now they're sitting at 56. So, yep, it's slowly making its way here. So definitely want to make sure to have that jacket, maybe a long sleeve, something in the car for later today. It's crazy Alabama weather. If you don't like it, stick around for a week. It's going to change, right? Hey, your forecast is brought to you by Classic by the Lake Express Car Wash. They're a locally owned, locally operated, full-service family car wash and the home of the unlimited monthly wash plan. They're at the top of the mountain in Gunnersville, next door to Gunnersville Chevrolet. That's Classic by the Lake Express Car Wash. Now your word of life. Today from Matthew chapter 6, verse 10, in the New Living Translation of the Bible. May your kingdom come soon. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Wow, those are the words of Jesus, and you might recognize that particular passage because it's part of the Lord's Prayer. What does it say to you? Can I tell you what it means to me? May your kingdom come soon. May your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That is me asking God to do whatever he has to do with me to make that happen. Work through me. Use me to touch people in my community. I want to please you, Father. Would you please tell me what you want me to do? And then doing it. And that's what it's about, being the hands and feet of Jesus and impacting your world. It's a huge deal, and it's something we all can do. So, hey, why don't you encourage somebody by sharing that word of life? We've got it ready for you across all of our socials and at the top of our website, 885jfm.com. Well, I was just sitting here minding my own business, just perusing some things, getting stuff ready to talk about on the radio, when all of a sudden I look over at my phone and it's flashing. And I'm like, oh, who is this? And I look at the caller ID. I'm like, oh, I know that last name. And so sure enough, I answer the phone. It's an old friend of mine. And I want to play the call for you. Got kind of excited this morning. Here, take a listen. It was Mr. David Cruz.
Doing wonderful. I just thought I would call and say I'm listening and you're sounding great.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that, man. How's life?
Okay, I'm on my way to Birmingham to work on some apartments.
Okay. Well, I wish you well. Be careful out there.
Yeah, it's something I got myself into I probably shouldn't have.
You're always getting yourself into those situations.
Yeah, that's a fact. Well, I'm going to let you go, man, and get back to work. You take care, my friend.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for reaching out.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right, bye. So I met David Cruz when I was in junior college. Yeah, I was going to a church out in Eva, Alabama. Now it's called Journey Church. But that guy right there is one of the most gifted sound guys I've ever known. I mean, when it comes to audio engineering and things like at a church, controlling sound. In fact, he's like the owner of a company that does that, Rock Creek Productions, LLC. The guy is awesome. I'll bump into him every now and then out and about through Arab, but it was so nice to hear from David this morning, man. Thank you for calling. And I got to looking down his Facebook page, and I noticed something has happened in his life that I think happens to a lot of us, right? He posted, our little beagle Annie crossed the Rainbow Bridge last night. She was loved by all of us, and she loved all of us. So, dealing with the loss of a pet is hard, especially on the little ones. So have you ever heard of the Rainbow Bridge that he talked about right there at the beginning of that post? Well, believe it or not, there is a community that made it a reality. They have their own Rainbow Bridge, and they invite people to come out and honor their pets by leaving a little something on the bridge. It is such a sweet story, and I want you to hear it next, right here on the Lifeline Morning Show. Wow, it's going to touch your heart. Here's Rachel Lampa with Somebody to You, right here on your 88.5 JFM, making your day better. Dealing with the loss of a pet, it is hard. It's a serious situation you find yourself in because they were part of the family, right? And when you have kids in the mix and they have to say goodbye to that pet, it's so hard. We had our dog Max for, I believe it was almost 12 years. And he was our boy. He was Maximilian. He was Maximus Prime. We had so many different names for him, but he was such a good dog. And our daughter Grace loved him to death. I'm telling you. And now, almost every night, right before we go to sleep, Grace will say, good night, Mom. Good night, Dad. Good night, Max. Because Max would always lay there beside our bed to fall asleep. And she was just used to that. And so almost every night since he went on, and that's been, goodness, almost 2 years ago now, she says, good night, Max. And either me or Cassie will kind of talk like we think Max would sound. We'll say, good night, Grace. I love you. Kind of keeping that memory alive for her. But it's really hard. We look back at pictures. These memories pop up on Facebook and Instagram of photos and videos that we took of Max. And just remembering those days, it brings so much joy and comfort, right? So much happiness. But dealing with that loss is tough. And no other pet could take Max's place. It's just not possible. Have you ever heard the poem of the Rainbow Bridge? Well, let me read it to you real quick. It's not a very long poem. Okay, here we go. Just this side of heaven is a place called Rainbow Bridge. When an animal dies that has been especially close to someone here, that pet goes to Rainbow Bridge. There are meadows and hills for all of our special friends so they can run and play together. There's plenty of food, water, and sunshine, and our friends are warm and comfortable. All the animals who had been ill and old are restored to health and vigor. Those who were hurt or maimed are made whole and strong again, just as we remember them in our dreams of days and times gone by. The animals are happy and content, except for one small thing. They each miss someone very special to them who had to be left behind. They all run and play together, but the day comes when one suddenly stops and looks into the distance. His bright eyes are intent. His eager body quivers. Suddenly he begins to run from the group, flying over the green grass, his legs carrying him faster and faster. You have been spotted. And when you and your special friend finally meet, you cling together in joyous reunion, never to be parted again. The happy kisses rain upon your face, your hands again caress the beloved head, and you look once more into the trusting eyes of your pet, so long gone from your life, but never absent from your heart. Then you cross the Rainbow Bridge together. Wow. It's emotional because could you imagine seeing that pet again that brought you so much happiness in this life? And it's like, whoa, the Rainbow Bridge. I love that idea. Well, there is a place that decided, hey, we need to make this a reality. We need to bring this Rainbow Bridge into the real world. And they're doing such a good job of it. Lake Lure Flowering Bridge, this place up in North Carolina. This lady had an idea and she made it happen, and I want you to hear about it from her. It is such an awesome story. Take a listen to this.
My name is Amy Wall. I currently live in Hendersonville, North Carolina, but lived for the past 20 years here in Chimney Rock and Lake Lure. We first decided to do this bridge because I'm a person who has always had pets in my life, at least 3 or 4 at a time. And we all know we lose them. And what do you do when you've lost your pet? You grieve and you put pictures on the wall and you get sad, and then you stick their tags or whatever, or their ashes on a shelf. And it's kind of sad. You just keep passing them day after day, and you have happy memories, but you don't want to just keep looking at that. So we said, let's build a Rainbow Bridge. The whole purpose was to create a space for families, individuals, to come and place the tags. And it doesn't have to be a tag. It can be one lady wants to know if she can put her hamster wheel there. I said, as long as it's not too big, a hamster wheel's fine. but for them to come and have a place to happily remember their pets. For pet owners, it's nice to have a magical space. There is no line between heaven and earth that we can see. But if you go to the bridge, you can imagine that I even painted the footprints coming on the bridge. The first few footprints are real, and then the next couple of them are half a footprint, and then a quarter of a footprint, and then they stop. Because that's what I thought as the animals cross the bridge, they go on into whatever you believe in, whatever that magic.
What do you think about that? Amazing, right? Well, this place is open to the public. They've actually undergone an expansion. So many people have shown up, and the rails on this bridge are covered with collars and tags of those lost pets. And it's just an amazing way to kind of, I don't know, pay homage or, to remember that family member. They had 4 legs, but they were still part of your family. And it's a very touching place. And the whole idea, I tell you what, I want to make it really easy for you to find this. I'm going to go and put it on our Facebook page right now so you can check it out for yourself. But the Rainbow Bridge, actually a place, Lake Lure, North Carolina, where you can visit with your family and take those mementos from your pet and leave them there as a memorial to the life and the happiness that they brought you. It's amazing stuff. It touches my heart. I hope it touched yours too. And yeah, those thoughts, those memories, keep them alive. They brought so much joy, didn't they? So imagine you just came into a whole lot of money. We're talking about millions of dollars all of a sudden. Would you want to share that news with everybody? Would you want to tell them, hey guys, look what happened? I know you're shaking your head right now. You're like, no, I wouldn't want to tell anybody because everybody wants some of it, right? Oh, it's funny. I came across a story of a guy who actually won $22 million. And he's decided to pretty well keep it a secret. And you'll find out why coming up shortly. And it's something I've never really thought of before, but it's a brand new term, and I think it really applies here. So stick around, we'll get into it. Who knows, you might chuckle a little bit. If you suddenly came into a whole lot of money, what would be the first thing that you would do? Would you want to tell somebody? Yeah? Or would you want to keep it really quiet? It's like, nope, nobody needs to know this. Or, would you just automatically call your boss and say, hey, boss, I quit? So many options, right? Because, hey, you don't have to work anymore if you got this kind of money. This is like money you don't have to worry about anything for the rest of your life if you treat it correctly. Well, that's how this guy found himself. And he decided to really keep it under wraps. I want to let you listen in on this conversation. He called Dave Ramsey, and Dave and a co-host are there on the set, and they're taking this call and completely flabbergasted, but really understanding why this guy is choosing to handle it the way that he is. Take a listen to this.
John, in quotes, that's not his real name, in other words, from Louisville, Kentucky, not his real place, in quotes. Big secret call coming in. So, John, what's your question?
Yes, sir. Well, about 2 years ago, I won one of those multi-state lottery drawings with a group of coworkers, and I haven't told anyone besides my wife and besides one sibling. No one knows. And
how much?
My question for you: after taxes, it was about $22 million.
Holy crap!
Wow. Holy crap is the understatement of the century. Yeah.
How old are you?
It was a lot. I'm edging up on about 50 years old.
Okay. So yeah, you haven't told anyone, and I've got some guesses, but why?
Well, the first thing I did when I found out that I won was research. And it said, that you read all those 1 in 5 people lose their lottery winnings or go bankrupt within 10 years. And one of the things they all said was, you tell too many people and you get too many people at your door asking for this, that, and the other thing, asking for handouts and expecting you to pay for everything. Mm-hmm. So my wife and I made a conscious decision just to kind of keep it under wraps. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of, we've kept keeping it under wraps. We haven't even told our 2 teenage children. Mm-hmm. And now I know that sounds strange, but we just don't want them to grow up to be waiters, waiting for us to die so they can get our money. You know.
That's fantastic, man.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Wow.
I'll spend the rest of the day imagining I'm you because this sounds just like a fun thing to think about. I don't think I would tell my teenage kids either.
No, I'm okay with that.
No, I want them to go figure out what they want to do in life.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
get
Go
going on
be
the track,
somebody.
and then I'll let them know.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep it from them forever. But like, you know, our parents and stuff, we haven't told any of them. We had another incident about a month after we won the lottery. Incident. I don't want to call it. My wife's great uncle passed away shortly thereafter, and he didn't have any kids, and he was never married, and he left most of his inheritance to my wife and her siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been able to use that as like our cover story for when we help people. Like I bought my mom a roof. I know, really, really nice of me.
Yeah.
But you know, when she says, "How can you afford this?" I just say, "Oh, it's great, Uncle Bob's money, Mom. He wanted us to do this." Or, you know, whatever.
Uncle Bob's money's at least 2x'd now. That's great.
And the big question is, after winning $22 million, did this guy keep working? Yes, actually, he said he enjoys what he does. He's still working every day. Only he and his wife and a sibling, and now a couple of people on that show know what has happened. Isn't that crazy? It's one of those things. It's like, well, this is really good news, but I'm afraid to share it with anybody. It's crazy. It's kind of weird, isn't it? But hey, you know what? It's a little different than the good news that we have to share here on the radio. And I'm not going to get cheesy. I'm just going to make a point, because God has given us everything that we need. We don't have to win some $22 million lottery to feel like we've arrived. Because if you are doing what God has called you to do, if you are trying to please Him every way that you can, and you are experiencing His blessing, I'm telling you, you're on the right track. You don't have to have millions of dollars or billions of dollars. No. And you can share the good news and help other people find it for themselves. Isn't that amazing? That's the good news you don't have to keep to yourself. You share it with others, and it makes you happy to share it with them. That's good stuff. That's generosity. And that's wanting to share your faith with others. I want to encourage you to do that today. Maybe you're like, Stephen, you know, I know the Great Commission. Jesus told us to go and preach the gospel. But every time I try, I kind of stop. I don't know what to do. I'm so afraid. I get nervous. I get butterflies. I don't know the next thing to say. Well, we got you, okay? Here is a pretty cool resource that you can go check out. It's right there on our website. It's on 885jfm.com. The Dive In tab in the main menu. Click on that, and you're going to see this thing called Soul Winning Tools. What that is a resource to help you know how to share your faith with somebody else. It tells you the most poignant scriptures that you can use to kind of show them this whole plan of salvation and how it's done and what it's for and why it's there. It's amazing. A cool resource to help you be more confident. If you wanted to even memorize it, you could do that and just kind of rattle it off. But it will definitely increase your confidence when it comes to sharing your faith and sharing that good news with other people. So I want to encourage you, go check it out. We have it in English. We have it in Spanish as well. We even have another link there you can just send to a friend, and it takes them through the whole salvation story. They just click on the link. It's really cool. So again, 885jfm.com. Click on that main menu, the Dive In tab. Soul Winning Tools is how you can find it. We just want to help you feel more confident sharing your faith and sharing this good news that we're trying to make famous. We are trying to reach as many people as we can, whether that's on the radio or on the podcast or on the stream. And thank you for listening. And go share it today, okay?
The number one piece of advice that I can give you guys, start the process. Start the process. You don't have to have it all figured out, but get in the game. Create your own walk. Have urgency. You didn't come this far to only come this far.
We have some very gifted artists who can sing so well, but you know what it takes? It takes a lot more than just an ability to sing. Sure, it takes practice to learn all that, but you got to have something to sing in the first place. Those songwriters, they really are crafty sometimes. They can turn a phrase and it makes so much sense, maybe in a way that you've never thought of before. Just the way that they say the words that they're trying to communicate to you, right? And sometimes you really connect with it, whether it's something you can connect with yourself or it's a new aspect of God that you've never thought about. You see it now because of the way they said it. Yeah, very gifted songwriters. And some of our artists, they write their own songs. Others, well, they rely on other songwriters, and they'll bring in a song and they'll decide whether they want to sing it or not. So have you ever tried songwriting before? Yeah? You ever written a poem? Well, that's basically songwriting, except without the music. So I know that you've written a poem in school before. But do you remember there's a particular kind of poem that deals with the syllables that you use? It's called a haiku. You remember that? It's a 5-7-5. I'm taking you back to school, right? 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, and 5 syllables in the last line. Well, here is a haiku about adult life. Okay, here it is. I am so tired. That's 5. Where did all my money go? That's 7. My back is hurting. That's 5. So, can you relate? I am so tired. Where did all my money go? My back is hurting. Yep, sums it up pretty nicely. Thanks for hanging out. Glad we can have some fun. 885jfm.com. Speaking of our website, you can go there and listen to us whenever you're away from your radio or outside of our listening area. It's really easy. Click that On Now button, press play, and you're good to go. Right now, we've got Louisville, Kentucky hanging out. We've got Reno County, Kansas. We've got Birmingham, Alabama, as well as Huntsville, Skyline, Arab, Gunnersville, Albertville, and Boaz, and our friends across the pond, all the way over across the pond in Helsinki, Finland. Thanks for making us part of your day. We are slowly getting to your temperatures over there, because right now over in Helsinki, Finland, they're sitting at 36 degrees. We're not quite there yet, but we're well on our way. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me here on the Lifeline Morning Show. I'll be back with your inspiring quote of the day to close out the show. What? It's already that time? I know, right? Time flies when you're having fun. Well, it's that time already. I get kind of sad this time of the morning because really, honestly, I love hanging out with you. But I do have something special to share with you, okay? It's your inspiring quote of the day. Today's is so good because it takes the beautiful and the painful and reminds you that they're both part of the same thing. So, Anne Brunt said this, "He that dares not grasp the thorn should never crave the rose." What does that say to you? I'll tell you what it says to me, that the biggest, most joyous things in life sometimes come with a few drawbacks. A few things that could be looked at as less than awesome. You know, like with relationships. You have your ups and you have your downs. With roses, you have that beautiful bud, but then you have the thorns. And so being able to learn how to navigate the negative stuff, to enjoy the positive stuff, it's a little bit of a journey, but hey, we're on it together. So I want you to find a way today to do that and rely on God. He's right there to help you every step of the way. I'll see you right back here tomorrow from 6 to 10 for another Lifeline Morning Show.